Hello, welcome back to yet another episode of the Nflementop 100. We are dealing with numbers 71 through 80 today. It's our third episode, is that right?
Yeah,
I think so.
like that.
If you haven't seen the other two, make sure you check them out. They'll be on our channel. Obviously, just click the channel link. I'm sure you all know how YouTube works. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff would be very much appreciated. Share with your friends and family or anyone you know who's interested in the NFL. So, as we have learned over the last two episodes, there is always the pre-ranking admin that needs taken care of. So for this, there are a couple players we haven't mentioned yet who were ranked by the NFL players in the kind of lower two brackets who I think belong here at the very least.
Yeah.
Mr. Touchdown White, Tre'Davious White, TD White.
Yes.
That's where I was going with that one. Yannick Ngakoue, and of course our defensive rookie of the year, Marshawn Lattimore.
Yep.
Yes.
I think it's difficult, particularly with Tre'Davious White and Lattimore, and with Ngakoue to an extent as well, because we're doing this whole thing based on Liam's amazing parameters around a kind of a 50-50 split between last season and kind of their career CV, if you like. It's difficult to rank rookies very high. I'm sure there are some rookies that will rank particularly high. Alvin Kamara, I think, is ranked 20. Whether we'll keep him there is another discussion. But it's difficult to put Tre'Davious White and Lattimore any higher. They could have a sophomore slump. We have to anticipate their next season. They have to kind of develop a track record before we can project them into the top 50.
Though that's not discounting quite how well they played this year,
Not
which is why they're being discussed here.
Two of the best cornerbacks in the league last season.
I mean, Lattimore especially, like, you just hear his name week in, week out. He's making big plays.
I think Ngakoue on a good day could easily be higher as well. It's just a matter of there's so many other players.
And as a result of that, certain players that were in this, we have had to drop down. As you guys well know, we've talked about them already. Some players aren't even in the top 100 that were in this bracket. If you haven't heard us discuss the kind of marginal players like this, make sure you listen to our first episode. It's probably a bit longer. I haven't edited yet, but players like Delaney Walker, Cameron Wake, Cam Chancellor, all three of them were ranked in this bracket and are not in our top 100. Equally, we've already spoken about Richard Sherman. So he was ranked quite highly, wasn't he? 64, and we dropped him down into the 80s. So that's another player not to expect the name being said. There are some players who, in this 10, I think should be higher. I'll run you through them. Zach Martin.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a huge fan. One of the best guards, if not the best guard in the league, needs to be a bit higher than 71, I think he was ranked. Odell.
Yeah.
I understand.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
I understand why he only played 4 games.
I don't.
No.
Rodgers is at 10.
I look at someone like Deshaun Watson at 50, isn't he?
Yeah.
Having played only 7 games ever. Was it 7
Yeah.
or 6?
It wasn't many.
And I looked, Deshaun Watson's awesome.
Yeah.
But
you can't do Odell like that. I'm excited to see where he ends up. He'll definitely be top 50, I can imagine. Where in that top 50, you have to watch our later episodes and find out. Marcus Peters, number 79, has to be higher.
Yeah, agreed.
Despite
His flaws.
And then this was one, Kevin Byard I really like, and I was thinking, looking ahead, is there anyone I can compare him to? Really easy comparison there at 62 with Micah Hyde. I say we just flip them, so pop Byard up into the 60s, bring Hyde down into the 70s.
Byard is the better of
If I'm thinking about who I'd rather have, Kevin
Byard
or Micah Hyde.
Yeah,
And Byard has the stats, which isn't always everything, but here I think it's a
backs it up.
tiebreaker.
And then obviously, like Mike Hyde, certain players are going to have to drop down. For me, those are Devontae Freeman, good running back.
Yeah,
can think of some
again, it's a
comparable
matter
running
of
backs.
looking forward, who squeezes in.
Jarrell Casey, I know he had 19 QB hits last year. He's had 5 seasons with 5 or more sacks. He does have consistency. He's a good DT. I think this is more his kind of level, given that we're going to have to be moving some players up. And then finally, Telvin Smith, the linebacker. Based on some other players that I think we're going to have to move up, but more on that in the next episode. So, our 10 players that are getting ranked here, I'll run through them quickly. Ngakoue, Freeman, Casey, Davis, Hyde, Luan, Smith, Lattimore, and Tre'Davious White. So now it's time to rank.
Ngakoue. I love Yannick Ngakoue.
Or Ingram.
But when you list, when you list those players, it's Ngakoue who just immediately kind of stood out to me.
It's interesting with Ngakoue and Ingram. Both are incredible edge presences. It's almost like the kind of thing where I'd want to see what they would do in a team where, say, Ingram won't have Bosa or Ngakoue doesn't have Calais Campbell. Both of them, I can imagine, are going to be ranked quite highly for us. And I don't know if it's fair or unfair for it to take the shine off what they do. In terms of who I'd rather have, both quite young, both still on their rookie deals, aren't they?
I almost can't explain why, but I just
Ngakoue seems scary.
I gravitate to Ngakoue.
And it's a position like edge defender. Reputation does mean a lot.
It's like with Jacksonville, you kind of get sucked into the whole, oh no, let's not go that way because Calais Campbell's that way, and you expect to just run right through Yannick Ngakoue, and you can't do that either. I know what you mean. It's interesting how on the official list, like Bosa and Campbell were high and their respective counterparts were significantly lower. But I think it is because those two guys are treated as the reason why the other two guys have the stats too.
And there is a bit of that by virtue of it being a team game.
And But then at the same time, I think it's...
They're still both terrific.
They are in their own right, clearly, because they wouldn't have those stats.
But like if I was the GM and I was did you want one of the two? I'd be like, I'll take Ngakoue, please.
Yeah,
well, it's a similar thing with we'll probably end up not very soon talking about Patrick Peterson, potentially a top 20 player. We'll have to wait till we get there. And Patrick Peterson obviously is an incredible cornerback. And you would think that cornerback 2 might be helped by that the same way Ngakoue might be helped by Campbell, but Arizona haven't put a good corner in there, and as a result, who knows who Arizona's second corner is. Whereas we all know who Ngakoue is, we all know who Ingram is. That means they're still very good, if not great players. I'd be happy putting them 1 and 2, 71 and 72, to be honest. I don't think anyone here really splits them, looking down the list.
I mean, I think there is an argument for some of the rookies, but then this going back to the fact that they are rookies, they don't have that sort of background experience.
And it's our natural D-line bias, which will become evident.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll encounter
Definitely.
that much more. On that note then, next, it's kind of it's a defensive situation, is it? Lattimore, White, Smith and Hyde are the 4, and Davis, I guess you could chuck into that conversation.
I personally would start moving Davis towards the back end, only because when you look at the youth of the other guys and what they're bringing to the table right now, Davis doesn't quite compare in his current standard, not to take away from what he has done.
And I think if you're taking into account body of work, that still has to be premised on current production and staying at a level. And he's been good, but those other guys were very, very good this year.
Thomas Davis, just to give you some stats, he's one of only 3 players with 600 or more tackles and 10 or more interceptions since 2012. Can you name the other 2? Both linebackers. Both NFC South.
Probably. Keithley, probably.
Keithley's one, yeah.
Levante David.
Yeah, Levante David. Interesting, that, isn't it? So, you want Davis towards the back end, fair enough. Then it's Hyde, White, Smith, Lattimore. I think Lattimore is better than White.
Yeah,
I agree.
And then because White and Hyde both play for the Bills, it's quite easy to compare them. Who was a better player on that defense? For me, it was Tre'Davious White.
Yeah.
And I know Hyde. I think Hyde has made the playoffs in each of the last 5 seasons, 4 with the Packers and once with the Bills, which is an impressive CV. How much that's to do with him is up in the air. Tre'Davious White has the potential to grow into something a lot more than what Micah Hyde is right now. It's kind of like Micah Hyde might be maximising his potential, but when you look at Tre'Davious White's potential...
Well, Tre'Davious White just stood out. Like, in his every time I watched the Bills, he stood out for them. So I would rank him slightly higher.
On the official list, White wasn't
there, no.
Which I think is interesting when Lattimore was there, but then I suppose being that defensive rookie of the year, he kind of already has a place where you put him is
also,
up for debate.
He was... Bless him, he was playing for the Bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough team to impress.
So you think Bills,
unless
and
you're LaShawn McCoy.
Well, yeah, it's basically Bills. It's like you're rubbish, but you've got Shady.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So
that defense was actually very good for large parts of last season.
And you can't even argue it's a playoff thing because Buffalo got there too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I think it's just that it's kind of like the abyss of the NFL.
Yeah. I would
Buffalo, Cleveland.
What's the weather like in Buffalo, Liam?
Now or in the season?
In the season.
Snowy.
Interesting. Variant on cold.
Yeah.
I think I'd put White over Hyde and Lattimore over White, and then it's just where does Telvin and then Davis at the. Would you Hyde or Davis? I mean, personally, I'd pick Davis. I will declare it now.
I'd take Hyde over Davis.
Yeah, I think at this point, There's not to take away from Davis, because I think in his role functioning with Caroline, I think it works perfectly fine.
It's going into his last season, actually,
and then
which would be a big loss. Telvin Smith, where he fits in that discussion. If we work from the bottom... Would you have Smith or Davis? Telvin Smith, obviously the linebacker for the Jags.
Smith over White, though.
Smith over Hyde. I'd take Smith over Hyde.
I probably would just.
And then it becomes Smith or the 2 rookie corners.
I think I'd take White over.
I'd take the rookie corners.
Yeah.
Personally. Like, not just any rookie corners, those rookie corners.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
they're going to be top tier, both of them.
The 2 of them will be kind of like... It's quite exciting to see how their career paths will kind of intersperse. They're not in teams which will play each other very often. It might be the odd game. They played each other last season, I think.
They were comparable in statistics.
Very comparable. And stuff like PFF grade.
And Lattimore won Defensive Rookie of the Year. And White doesn't make the top 100.
Yeah,
I don't know whether Lattimore just has one of those characters that attracts more attention,
or whether for the Saints.
Honestly, as well,
team with more success, team with more attention.
But people will remember the butt pick.
Yeah,
and I think that will be the thing that's like
the Saints' defense has historically not been great.
Yeah,
and this year they were great, and people are looking for a reason for that, and they look at the new influx of talent and they think, well, Marshall and Lattimore must have made a massive difference.
I was okay. I was kind of okay with Lattimore winning the award. I thought he was great, and given the choice between the 2, I'd take Lattimore, but it's by a hair. It's not by 20, 30 places or whatever.
Which, in effect, given the official list, is what it would have been.
Yeah.
So,
I think then moving forward, Devontae Freeman, for me, is towards the bottom of this section of the list. He's a good running back.
Yeah.
Is he the quick one, or is that Coleman?
He is.
Coleman's bigger.
Yeah.
But Freeman is
Freeman's the quick.
Freeman is the one that I think he is their number one.
He's their number one. Yeah. And that's. He's a great running back for a great offense. I can think of other running backs who can play that position. I can think of running backs who are better, obviously. Otherwise, he wouldn't be down here.
He's been a consistently very good player.
I think this is the thing. So, like, obviously, we'll get onto the whole Fletcher Cox at 69, which I have an issue with.
Yeah.
But it's part of that. Oh, he's part of a team that's great, and with the Falcons, even though their offense this year didn't click like it did last year, they have Jones, they have Sanu, Matt Ryan's obviously there, Coleman's also a great running back,
Austin
Hooper at tight end as well, and obviously they've got good things going on in defense, so it's one of those things where
he gets kind of lost in the crowd.
He gets lost because I don't think he's bad at all, and last year I thought he was really good.
I think he's very good. He fits what they do very well. He can catch the ball out of the backfield.
The stat blast. He's one of only 2 players with 3,000 rushing yards and 30 rushing touchdowns in the last 3 seasons, along with Le'Veon Elevator Bell.
So he fits. He's a top 100 player, isn't he? And he's probably this band too.
But then it's something like, would you take Freeman or Thomas Davis?
I'd take Freeman-ish.
Yeah.
Really?
Ish. Yeah.
I'd take Thomas Davis in this. I think you look at. We can put the intangible stuff like leadership to the side. You look at that man's production over the course of his career. I don't know. Is this his 12th season in the NFL? Something crazy like that. He's outlasted many a great player, and he's still producing at this level. He's well into his 30s.
Is he the best at his position on his team?
Yeah, but that's like saying...
And is Freeman the best at his position on his team? Like, I'm thinking value that he adds what he does.
I think that there are other running backs that could replace him. I don't feel...
Yeah, but like, I'd find it... I'm just like, the impact that Freeman has...
If Kuechly's on your team, it's kind of unfair to compare anyone to Kuechly.
But still, like... I'd still go for Freeman over Davis just.
But it's like that. If you know what I mean. So...
I can accept it. So Freeman above Davis. What about Jarrell Casey? A good DT, very consistent. Like I said, he's had 5 seasons with 5 or more sacks. I know we don't particularly like the Pro Bowl much on this show. When we encounter Derek Carr at number 60, I'm sure Max will have something to say about that. But this is his 3rd Pro Bowl selection. He's had a good career. Is he one of the top kind of defensive lineman in the league? No, not really for me. Is he a good, solid defensive tackle? Yes, he is. Would I take him over Well, would I take him over Devontae Freeman? Probably not, no. We have this D-line bias, but equally, all we've been saying about Freeman, about how he's the best at his position, Jarrell Casey never comes up in conversation when you're talking about the best D-lineman in the league. And he's come on here, he's kind of like a quiet worker, and he does his job.
He's just like a solid...
Yeah, he's a presence on the D-line that does well. Freeman is more exciting, more electric, more of a playmaker, able to make a bigger impact on the game.
I was going to say, I think if you were to try and bet on who would be the one to make the break that you need, I'd go Freeman.
Yeah, I'd agree. And then Davis or Casey is the next question. I've made my case for Davis plenty.
Do you know what? Actually, I'd be happy to stick with Davis. I think he's...
I'm just... Yeah, Probably Davis.
Then the only player we haven't addressed is Taylor Lewan, a tackle for the Titans. A couple of Titans popping into this section of the list.
The Titans actually have a really good roster, but I think they have a really good roster because right now they have guys that are kind of middling, but they're good.
So across the last 2 seasons, Taylor Lewan has started all 32 games, made the Pro Bowl twice, and has only conceded 5 sacks.
That is pretty...
That's pretty good. That's pretty consistent.
We're going to see later on, we'll be talking about, what's his name? Is it Trent Williams?
Yes.
Who obviously didn't let up a single sack last season. There's other players like Andrew Norwell, who actually wasn't on this list, who didn't let up a single sack. But to only give up 5 when you are a left tackle, that's
impressive.
I mean, it's that reliability
you're doing
thing,
your job, so, you know.
Would we put him over the likes of, Lewan or Freeman? Let's just say that.
I want my left tackle.
Lewan or Hyde.
In fairness.
Probably the left tackle again, Lewan.
I don't know. That might be the
limit for him. I don't know. Personally,
possibly.
I think I'd probably take Hyde.
I'm there thinking, do I want if we just say they're both solid?
Yeah.
Where do I place more value?
Left tackle or safety?
Probably left tackle.
Yeah. Then the next question is Taylor Lewan or Telvin Smith. I'd probably at this point take Telvin Smith.
Yeah.
You guys know I love a good middle linebacker. It's my Keekleitis.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Growing up supporting Keekly.
I think in our discussions, we've kind of talked about how much Smith could benefit from the D-line which he plays behind, but that shouldn't take away from quite how good he is, because he's really, really good.
Yeah. All right, well, there we go. A nice shorter episode this time. Let's hope we can keep that up. In this 71 to 80 bracket, we have Ngakwe at 71, Ingram 72, Marshawn Lattimore at 73. I was trying to think of a funny name, but I couldn't really.
Wow, okay.
Just really stretched out that name.
Let's just say really slow.
Touchdown White at 74. Teflon Smith. Is that a thing I can say? It doesn't really make sense. Taylor Lewan. Taylor the One. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that one.
At 76. Micah, hide your kids, hide your wives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that 77? Yeah. Devontae, no longer a free man, at 78. Thomas Davis at 79. Couldn't think of anything funny there. And Jarrell, that's the end of our 71 to 80 bracket. Casey at 80.
I'll give you that. Was okay, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sure my nicknames will get better as this list goes on. But squeaky mic. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like I said, if you've missed the earlier 2 episodes of our show, they're available on our channel. Please do check them out. Also, of course, check out the introductory video if you want to understand our rhyme and reason behind all this list. Tune in the next couple of days. The next video will be dropped. Well, obviously, we'll be doing a 61-70. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you share the video with your friends and family. It really does help us out. All the best. See you later.